how's Jalen done when these two defenses have taken away the first read?
What's that?
How's Jalen done when the first read's been taken away from him?
Yeah, there's been, in the first game, I thought he did a really good job of, defense playing deep, checking the ball down. We started out a couple early completions to Kenny with defenses kind of flying out of there. So, I think Jalen is just continuing to progress, starting to see some different things defensively and just finding ways to adjust to how we're getting played.
The quarterback running game has been a huge strength here over the past few seasons. Hasn't been what we're used to. Is it those different looks? What do you think is going on in that aspect?
Yeah, we haven't hit very many explosives with our running plays. But if you go back and watch the tape, it's really, really close. So we just got to continue to strive to be better in all areas and continue to try to put our guys in the perfect situation.
As a play caller, what's the push-pull in your mind, if you will, about going to a running play over and over again on a consistent basis like we're doing?
Yeah, I think, ultimately job number one is to do what you have to do to win the football game. And I think, one of the luxuries that we have is, we have a bunch of great players. And the reality of that is when you do have great players, it allows us to really attack what the defense is not focusing on. So, for us in this past game on Thursday, we decided that we were able to adjust really quickly to how they were playing, and they gave us a couple favorable matchups in the run game, and the guys did a great job of executing that.
When you're calling the same play over and over again, we used to talk to Shane about not getting bored with that. How hard is it to not try and counter off of it and just stick with what's working?
Well, I think that's just the true test of your patience. I think that's, particularly what the defense is expecting you to do in those scenarios is, we'll try to make the offense drive at 12, 14, 15 plays and count on them to make a mistake. And so, I think it was just a credit to everybody's patience to continue to do what was working.
Sort of a two-part question, but guys, how much does the success for the quarterback sneak affect your play calling on the second and third down? And secondly, we've seen teams around the league try to replicate what you guys are doing, and this has been successful. What makes you guys so successful in doing it, not these other teams?
Yeah, well, we obviously have great players. They spend a lot of time working our quarterback sneak. With Coach Stout and Jason and Landon and Cam. He got his first action in trying to get that quarterback sneak done. So it's been a very effective play for us the last couple years here, and just a total testament to just the type of players that we have that requires to make that play go.
How's it help you out? How's it affect your play calling on second and third down?
For sure, we feel really, really comfortable in short yardage situations. And we have here for the past 3 years. So for us, it is, anytime that we can get to those favorable down and distances where the quarterback sneak is an option for us, and obviously having other plays off of it to try to create explosives is a positive for us.
What are the dynamics like between AJ and Devontae from your perspective, meeting rooms on the field and the ways in which they sort of bounce off each other and make each other better?
Well, I think those guys complement each other really well in terms of their games. But there's a reason those guys were voted captain as well. They're great leaders. They're very passionate about their craft and trying to be the best that they can possibly be. So anytime you have, players that kind of set that stage in terms of their leadership, in terms of their work ethic and how they prepare themselves to get ready to go play each and every week and play at a high level each and every week is a testament to them.
What are the defining characteristics of a Todd Bowles defense that keep you up at night?
Well, he's obviously done this for such a long time, and he has just enough wrinkles to keep you honest. But, we didn't play him obviously in 22, but in 21, you have a lot of the same players that were there, but they're always fast, they're physical, they tackle really, really well. And, it's an excellent scheme in terms of just presenting different problems for you offensively. So just like any game, for us, especially particularly in the first two, is you got to go out there and be ready to adjust to any curveballs they throw at you.
I'm assuming you're going back to that 21 tape and kind of using it as a resource. Like, how much of Jalen's growth stands out when you're looking at that tape?
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's just seen so much more defense than he did at that point in 2021. So, and just like he's always done, he's continued to progress, to continue to get better. That's who he is as a person. That's who he is as a player. So, he's definitely a different player than he was 2 years ago, for sure.
After Thursday's game, Jason Kelsey referred to what defenses are doing is chaos. They're creating chaos with some of the looks and some of the things that maybe you didn't expect to see. Is that kind of a fair thing to say? Has anything kind of surprised you with how Belichick and Flores came out and played these
Yeah,
games?
for sure. I think those guys have done a great job of presenting looks that haven't been on tape, that have been unscouted, and trying to find new ways to challenge us as an offense. And, I think that's one of the things that we talked about is, defenses were going to try to adjust to what we're doing, and just kind of see the evolution of from 21 to 22 to 23 of just how defenses, what their focal point is to try to take away from us offensively. And, I was just really proud of the guys for being able to adjust on the fly really, really quickly and find a way to manipulate that and attack and use it to our advantage.
How much better will that make the offense in the long run, do you think, by being challenged like this early on?
Absolutely. I think anytime that you're challenged as an offense, anytime that you have to figure out a way to problem solve, it can only be a positive. And for us, we're all in this thing together in terms of how do we put the best product out there on a consistent basis each and every week. And we all know that can look different based on each game plan, based on how it unfolds in the game for us. But anytime that you can be able to adjust and get yourself an opportunity to score some points and find ways to win the game when things don't necessarily go your way or not exactly what you expect, I think that's always a huge positive.
As a play caller, coaches often say it's a good problem to have. When you have a lot of playmakers, you can take advantage of what you said they're not focusing on. Do you feel any pressure, though? Do you have to put that out of your mind, like I have to get AJ involved, I have to get Devontae involved, I have to get Dallas involved? How do you sort of handle that?
Yeah, well, you want to get all of our great players involved, whether it's the skill players or it's Lane and Jordan Mulatto on the backside of B blocks on inside zone. So, we want all of our players to contribute in a meaningful way to our offensive structure and within the flow of the game. So, for us, that is something that we always look to accomplish, and each game kind of plays itself out individually, but certainly going into the game, that is something that we always take into account.
It seems like the screen pass is often an answer for Jalen when you guys are getting blitzed. Is that fair to say? And if so, why is that an effective outlet for him?
Well, screen passes have been, but we've faced quite a bit of blitz zero so far this year, and I think we've done Jalen has particularly done a good job of sitting there and getting the ball out of your hands. Right? There's really two schools of thought to when teams, pressure you, right? And you can try to block it up or try to get it out quick. So, we have a mechanism to do both. And we have done both throughout the course of not only this year, but in years previous. It was a pressure look for Devontae's long touchdown is an example where we got a chance to take the ball down the field versus pressure. And there was a couple early in the game. We hit Dallas on a quick little option route versus a blitz zero. So just having different ways to manipulate that, having different ways and different answers based on how teams are playing you is always really important.
What stood out most about DeAndre Swift's performance?
Well, DeAndre's an explosive player. He's an explosive playmaker. He had really, really good vision. He did a great job of staying square. All the guys in that room are excellent football players, and it was great to see DeAndre come out and have such a huge performance in the home opener back in Philly for him. So, I was really excited for his performance.
As a couple more, please. Question: can you usually tell going into the game based on a matchup or the defense, how the target distribution will be, or are you surprised sometimes coming out of the game about how
Yeah, I think it depends. It happens both ways, to be honest with you. There's been times when you call a game and you expect a guy to have probably 12 or 15 catches and they come out with 4. And then there's been times where you didn't think a guy, they would double and a guy wouldn't get the ball very much and he ends up with 12 catches. So, I think that's just the natural ebbs and flows of the game. And, I think generally that's why you have the law of averages, because it'll even out, once you get the proper sample size.
You mentioned Todd's defense a little bit earlier. They've been really effective stopping the run over a long period of time. Is it just as simple as Vita Bay is tough to move? What do they do so well when it comes to stopping the run?
Well, they have great players interior, like you talked about. Vita Bay is one of the best players at his position in the NFL. Levante David and Devin White, all of those guys can run and hit. And then again, I think Coach Bowles does a great job of putting those guys in position to make plays and to create big plays and to create tackles for losses. So, it'll definitely be a battle. I think we have a fantastic offensive line and they have a fantastic defense. So, just like any other week in the NFL, it's going to be quite the battle.